If I don't go, I'm dead.
I.
Come on, baby. First of all, what's more important than love?
He picks and chooses. I think he's interested in how a woman thinks, just as much as how a woman looks.
He had a bit part on Dallas, which of course was one of the highest-rated nighttime soap operas of the period. And he met Shelley McCall, who was then 16, and they ended up dating. It wasn't any major thing, it just lasted for a little while. And
You know she's trouble, but not that kind of, not how it ends up trouble. Just good trouble, good woman trouble.
One of the reasons I think Brad Pitt has been such a success, both on camera and off camera, is because he doesn't lead his life by design. He's not a press release. He doesn't go out with women who, you know, the tabloids might like to see him with. His time with Juliette Lewis, I'm sure that's not what everyone at People magazine, you know, would like to see him with.
What a lot of people don't know about Brad Pitt is that he's really bohemian. He has this whole hippie side to him. You really can see that sort of bohemian side of him in his first celebrity girlfriend that he had, Juliette Lewis.
Juliette Lewis was, at this point, an incredibly up-and-coming actress. She had won an Oscar nomination, in fact, already for Cape Fear.
They had met doing a TV movie of the week, and they later did the movie California together.
Tell me more about California.
We're gonna climb up to that famous Hollywood sign. We're gonna howl at the moon.
This was before Brad was a huge star, and it'd be interesting to see him going out with Juliette Lewis today. You almost can't picture it because he's become such a big star, and at the time he was with Juliette Lewis, they were both, you know, B-, C+ level stars.
it was a very real, very intense romance.
It would be wild speculation for me to tell you why Brad Pitt and Juliette Lewis broke up after a few years. But if you just step back and you look at it, he became a huge star during the time that they were together. And people change, especially, you know, at that age. I mean, his 20s. I mean, he was going through a lot of change in his life. It's not a big shocker that they broke up.
What comes with love? Loss, inevitably, whether that be death or some other changing of the tides. You're not into her, are you?
No, God, not at all.
Gwyneth Paltrow was a really up-and-coming star at the time. She came from Hollywood royalty. Her mother was Blythe Danner. Her father was the producer, Bruce Paltrow. Her godfather was Steven Spielberg. She was part of the Hollywood elite. And here she was, dating in real life the sexiest man alive.
Brad and Gwyneth were, it was almost bizarre at one point because they both got the same haircut, and he dyed his hair, and he looked like the male version of Gwyneth Paltrow. And it was kind of bizarre. It was like, okay, this is too much, guys. You know, we need a little bit of differentiation. We can't have two, you know, celebrities of this power merging into like one person. It was just a little too bizarre for everybody. Maybe too bizarre for them, so it just couldn't last.
Here comes Gwyneth Paltrow and her longtime beau, Brad Pitt, for the premiere of The Pallbearer, also starring Friends' David Schwimmer. Pitt doesn't want to take the limelight away from Paltrow, mouthing, "It's her movie."
Can I ask you how it feels to be the hottest couple of 1996?
Oh man, is that what we are?
I guess you are.
It feels pretty good to be with this guy. You know, he's the best. He really is.
He's lovely. What's it like? I don't know. I don't think about it. Go find your own. There's so many marriages and couplings that don't work in the business, and I don't want to be that. I have so much respect for love, and I'm in awe of it, and a partnership, and two people who back each other up and hold each other up and support each other, and that's the greatest compliment in the world, and I would never want to disrespect that.
When he got the Golden Globe, he was thanking her as his muse.
When you look back, when he was with Gwyneth Paltrow, there was nothing private about that relationship at all. It was just 24/7. You almost had a full diary of what the relationship was all about, right down to the breakup, the aftermath. We knew too much about Gwyneth Paltrow and Brad Pitt.
Am I getting played?
Oh, you're accusing me of lying to you.
Brad Pitt's romance with Gwyneth Paltrow, which was as big as they get in Hollywood, it was on its way to being real Liz and Dick stuff. Everyone was waiting for them to get married and talking about it.
But it was one of those breakups that was very public and very ugly.
His heart was broken. And he wasn't just like, you know, a lady killer just going off for the next one. He was genuinely devastated. And it made him all the more sympathetic, romantic, and, oh, can't we take care of you, Brad?
When Brad Pitt was named Sexiest Man Alive in 1995, it was a great feather in his cap. He was building his celebrity and really trying to broaden his appeal and really, you know, let the world know who he was. But by the time 2000 came around and he was named Sexiest Man Alive for the second time, it was completely unnecessary. You know, the world knew he was the sexiest man alive.
These lists are so ridiculous. Sexiest man, whatever. Like, Brad Pitt needed a list to say he's the sexiest man alive.
Brad had this plan of taking an ad out because, you know, Brad was sexiest man alive a couple times with people. They did it to me once. And well, here's the problem is they will introduce you as that for quite some time afterwards.